Hey, we're here today with Reverend Lacette Cross. I'm so excited that she's come in to share with us from her tradition. We've been talking with some leaders in our community about what their faith says about welcoming all as we seek to make Virginia a more welcoming place. So, Reverend Cross, will you share with us?
Sure. Good day, whatever day it may be when you watch this. Thank you so much, Lana, and the Virginia Interfaith Public Partnership Policy. I always get the name. The Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy. Thank you so much. I always get the name wrong. I want to put extra P's in there. Thank you so much for doing this and inviting me to be a part of, and inviting other faith leaders to be a part of this conversation, welcoming all. And so I am Pastor Lacette Cross. I pastor Restoration Fellowship, RVA, in the city of Richmond. We are a church that dares to do church differently. We will be 1 year old in December, on December 18th. Yeah, that's exciting. And so one of our values, one of our founding values is around hospitality, right? And so being able to welcome all persons. And so we founded the church in that way because we recognize that people coming into faith spaces need to feel completely not only just welcome, but just grounded and cared for. And we really realize that the idea of welcoming people is about allowing them to know that they are accepted fully as they are, gender identity, however you choose to show up, the pronouns you want us to use. And then I was just raised not only in the church, but taught or groomed within my ministry from Covenant Baptist United Church of Christ out of Washington, D.C., the amazing Reverend Doctors Dennis and Christine Wiley. And their push for us was to always embody radical hospitality. And so as a pastor and a minister myself, that has shaped me, right? So what does it mean to be a radical, hospitable person? It means putting all your internalized respectability to the side. It means seeing the image of God on every single human being. It means smiling even when everything on the inside of you is feeling like, what the world? And it means showing the love of God, or as my pastor, Pastor Chris, would say, being Jesus with skin on. And so the founding, I think, source of that as an ethical way of being is also about Jesus, who showed radical hospitality, right? So Jesus is, some would say he's the first feminist because he's talking to women. He's allowing women to touch him without rebuking them. He's the one sitting with the hoes and the drunkards and the folks that nobody wanted to talk to. And if we're really going to be Christians that are just and kind and that are following examples of Christ, then we need to be radical, right? We need to be able to welcome those folks and to be able to welcome them even as we expand our sense of who God is and how God is operating in the world. And so the academy would tell us that that's our theology, right? That we're all engaging in theological anthropology when we see the humanity in each other. And how can we not be welcoming if we really are about showing the love of God to all people? So those are kind of those valuing principles for me, and the things that kind of guide me as both an individual person of faith and faith leader, and also as a pastor of a church, so that anybody that walks through the doors of Restoration Fellowship knows that they can be their full, fabulous, authentic self and be accepted just as that, because that's what Jesus did. And if we're going to be Christians, we might as well do what he did, or at least try to. And I think this is the most fundamental thing you can do.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.